But after that fight right there, with a 50-50 fight, Jamie Pickett and Jordan Wright, I'm going to say right now, this is literally 50-50, minus 115 and minus 110. You look at the betting odds right here, minus 107 and minus 104. So even on the mean odds for every single one of the betting odds sites, minus 112 for Jamie Pickett, and then for Jordan Wright, minus 111. I mean, there's just 1 point difference from Jordan Wright and Jamie Pickett. I mean, that is just absolutely insane. So if you are picking the correct guy right here, you can potentially make a lot of money, considering the odds are really 50-50 right here. Jamie Pickett, 32 and a half years old, a little bit more of a reach advantage than Jordan Wright at 80-inch reach right there, a 3-inch reach advantage over Jordan Wright in the fight. Jordan Wright coming off his second loss right there. You see 11 wins, 1 loss, but he has 2 losses on his record. One of the losses to Anthony Hernandez. I'm not really too sure what happened, but he did get knocked out pretty cold, and then got knocked out by Joaquin Buckley after that. A very powerful puncher as well, 6 knockout wins and 5 submission wins. Most likely, if a guy like Jordan Wright's gonna win the fight, he's gonna finish the fight. Jamie Pickett, 11 wins and 5 losses right here. 8 knockout wins, 1 submission win, and 2 decision wins. A lot of power in his hands. That's all you really need to know about this guy right here. Had a pretty interesting fight with Tavon Nchukwi. Didn't really do too good in the clinch. That's the main way that Tavon Nchukwi was able to actually win that fight, was to just kind of clinch up on Jamie Pickett and just land a lot of body shots. If you look at these statistics on the fight and how many strikes were landed at range, it was actually really close. Just in the clinch, that's where the That's the worst place for Jamie Pickett in his last fight with Tavon Nchukwi. So with Jordan Wright and Jamie Pickett right here, I think Jordan Wright would want to maybe clinch up a little bit more than he usually does, and try to get those body shots on Jamie Pickett and do the exact same thing that Tavon Nchukwi just did a couple of months ago, and that seemed to work for Tavon. So it could potentially work for Jordan Wright in the fight right here. But at range, I think Jamie Pickett will have the advantage, having the reach advantage, having the power advantage in my opinion as well. Jordan Wright may have a little bit better submissions, really good rear naked choke submission as well. You look right here. Let's see how many of his wins come in by rear naked, arm triangle, and then a rear naked. So most of his submission wins come in by rear naked submission. I don't really see much of a wrestling and grappling fight between these two guys. I mean, both fighters, they're really good strikers. I suppose the fight will be staying on the feet in the striking game. So I think there might be 1-2 takedown attempts, but I don't see much of an opportunity for either guy to get the TKO, to ground a pound, or get the submission win, whatever the case may be. I just see the fight staying on the feet, and one of these two guys knocking the other guy out in the very first round, or getting a dominant decision win. But this should be very interesting. But Jamie Pickett, 9 of his 11 wins come by KO or TKO. Decent wrestling game at 1.5 takedowns per fight on Dana White's Industries and inside of the UFC. Not the best accuracy on his takedowns of 40%, but he just keeps on going because he's attempting pretty much a takedown every single round. So every single round, you should expect Jamie Pickett to attempt a takedown. But do I think that will play the biggest factor here, considering Jordan Wright also has some pretty good takedown defense as well, with 100% takedown defense inside of the UFC. Don't really see this fight going to the ground. I think Jamie Pickett could potentially make it a wrestling-based fight, but I think that the chance that happens are very low right here. I think the fight will stay on the feet. Sorry about that. He's super powerful, straight right hand down the pipe. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, over and over again. Do not get your back to the cage when you got a guy like Jamie Pickett just raining down 1-2 combinations on you. That is going to be a deadly sight to see. If Jamie Pickett can get Jordan Wright's back to the cage right there, if he does not manage to get you down, he does have some pretty good ground and pound shots on the ground. Most likely wait for him to win. Just keep the fight at range. Use that 3-inch reach advantage. Land his 1-2 over and over again. Avoid the clinch, avoid the wrestling, avoid the grappling, whatever the case may be. Just keep the fight at range and just land that 1-2 over and over again. Make it a 29-28 unanimous decision. Jordan Wright, every single win coming by finish. So, I mean, if he's going to win, it probably will be by finish, because 11 out of 11 wins being knockouts or TKO wins, or even submission wins in the first or second round. Amazing knees in the clinch. So, I think he might have the clinch advantage over Jamie Pickett, because we saw in the last fight, he did have a very big weakness against Tavon Nchukwi in the clinch. So, Jordan Wright needs to look at that and say, he has a very big weakness in the clinch, so I'm going to go in the clinch as soon as possible and just clinch out with Jamie Pickett and just body shot body shot, knees to the body over and over and over again. That is where Jamie Pickett has the biggest disadvantage in his striking, in his wrestling, whatever the case may be. So in the fight, Jordan Wright's main way, in my opinion, would be to probably clinch up and then land those knees to the body, those body shots as well, and then just pretty much clinch up the whole entire fight and get a decision win, something like that. I mean, we saw him against Ike Villanueva, I believe his second to last fight, something like that. In the clinch with Ike Villanueva, landed a big elbow over the top and ended up cutting his eye right open. So the same thing could happen right here. He does have a really, really good clinch game, and Jamie Pickett does not have the best clinch game at all. But at range, Jamie Pickett will have the advantage because he's going to be 3 inches longer in the reach department, and he is much more powerful, much faster in my opinion as well. So I think at range, Jamie Pickett will win the fight, and in the clinch, I think Jordan Wright will win the fight. But this is a really, really close fight. 50-50 odds on the betting odds right here. I think it's gonna be really, really close. I think one round will go to each fighter, and then it'll be decided from that last round, the third and final round, and it's gonna be really, really close. I mean, there's so many close fights in the fight card that are just so hard to pick who's gonna win the fight. You just have to watch a lot of film with the guys to really make what your prediction is gonna be, because this fight is gonna be really, really close because they're both really good strikers. They both have a decent clinch game, pretty even grappling, pretty even wrestling, everything like that. So this should be a really, really interesting fight right here. But I watched a fight with Jamie Pickett and Punahil Soriano, and his head movement looked really, really good, and he started to land that 1-2 combination over and over again against Punahil Soriano, whose reach was way, way less than Jamie Pickett right here. So I think he will keep range on Jordan Wright right here, and just land that 1-2 over and over and over again. Defend the clinch, just did not want anything to do with that clinch with a guy like Jordan Wright. Just keep the fight at range, land that 1-2 over and over and over again, in my opinion. And the fight will go all the way, and Jamie Pickett will win a super, super close fight by 29-28, unanimous decision right here. And then the betting odds, I mean, man, it's a tough one to do. It's -107 and then a -104 right here. I'm curious to see where the betting odds will swing in the next couple of days, because at one point there was Jamie Pickett at +110, and then at one point there was Jordan Wright at +105, something like that. So I'm probably gonna say wait a little bit for the odds. Actually, if you're gonna bet Jordan Wright, I'd probably bet right now at -107, because I think the betting odds will favor Jamie Pickett right here. I think in the next couple of days, they will have Jamie Pickett around -120, -130, somewhere around that range, and Jordan Wright is a plus something, whatever the case may be. So right now, I'd probably put a bet on Jamie Pickett. Wait a couple of days for the Jordan Wright odds to kind of switch over a little bit, and where Jordan Wright is gonna have those plus underdog odds, which I think is exactly what's gonna happen. I think the underdog will be Jordan Wright. I think the favorite will be Jamie Pickett right here. I mean, already they have him as a slight favorite, -120 and -110 right there. -110 and then -104. So all the odds either have it as a 50-50 odds, or they're having Jamie Pickett as a super slight favorite, which is exactly what I think is going to happen. So if you're going to bet on this fight, bet a little bit, because this is a really, really close fight. But if you're betting on Jamie Pickett, now is your chance at -107, before the odds kind of switch out a little bit to -120, -130 for Jamie Pickett right there. But that should be a really, really good middleweight fight right there.